Hello, listeners, and welcome one and all to the Playtesters, a real play podcast where we play and, in some cases, test out new tabletop role playing games that are not Dungeons and Dragons. Come with us on a fun journey as we learn how to play together as a new group of players with new game systems to play along the way. Welcome, one and all, to Brindlewood Bay, a quaint New England town that is the home of mystery, murder, and a book club. Why don't you come meet the murder mavens? It'll be a good time. Let's start out with session 0 and the first part of the one shot. Hope you enjoy.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. Welcome, y'all. We are going to play a wonderful dark and cozy mystery game called Brindlewood Bay that was written by Jason Cordova. Brindlewood Bay is a really different kind of mystery role-playing game. It's a little bit of mystery. It's a little bit of like dark, brooding Cthulhu type stuff. Maybe like Granny Borg, if you will. And then, yeah, you're ultimately going to be in a position where you're solving murder mysteries, and then that will eventually change into basically having to probably save the world, or at least Brindlewood Bay. So what we're going to do is this book has a really great way to go through the beginning of setting up this game. So for those of you that have characters, you're in a pretty good spot, and those of you that don't are in a good spot as well too, because it's really doesn't take much time to put your characters together, and we will walk through that. So this will be a little bit of a session 0, and then slide into the beginning of what will be this 1.5 shot, I guess we'll call it. So Brindlewood Bay is a small coastal community in Massachusetts. It's a whaling town. It was a whaling town in the 18th and 19th centuries, and it is now largely a tourist spot. Many locals have turned their homes into bed and breakfasts, and the town is antique shops, comfy dining spots, and artists and artisans of all kinds. And guided fishing trips are pretty common as well. The Murder Mavens is a mystery book club, and this mystery book club has been meeting on the top floor of the Candlelight Booksellers every Saturday evening for about the last 10 years. The Candlelight Booksellers is it's a modest little bookstore. It's actually like inside a house, and it's very got some nice little like tea house, coffee shop, bookstore vibes going on. The Murder Mavens, which is what you call yourselves, are particularly fond of the Gold Crown Mysteries. And that series is by Robin Masterson, featuring the globe-trotting super sleuth, Amanda Delacourt. So all of you love to make references to Amanda Delacourt. You want to be the next Amanda Delacourt. You want to solve mysteries and help people, right? So you're all elderly women, your partners have passed away, and your children have long flown the nest, and you're enjoying your golden years in the picturesque town of Brindlewood Bay. You keep your homes the way you like it. You pursue your hobbies, and you find comfort and companionship in each other. You're amateur detectives. You've actually helped police solve several high-profile crimes. So this is not first starting out. You're already established that you are crime solvers. And sometimes people just approach you to get your help on something. You're starting to get a name for yourselves. But most of the time you kind of just stumble onto it, right? I mean, that's the traditional trope of those kind of shows, of you just stumble into the mystery for some reason every single week. And much to the chagrin of the authorities, they usually resent in your meddling, but then at the end, they end up being appreciative of the things that you do to help solve the mystery. So having said all that, Let's see. Um, as you are solving mysteries, you become increasingly aware that there are supernatural forces that connect the cases that you're working on. And in particular, a cult dedicated to the dark, monstrous aspect of the goddess Persephone will come to vex you. This game is directly inspired by the television show Murder, She Wrote, but also takes inspiration from cosmic horror, mystery books, and cozy crime dramas. The aim of your characters in the story is to keep your community safe, investigate the murders that are taking place. Your aim as players is to learn more about the characters, your characters, as well as to paint a vivid picture of the town of Brindlewood Bay, which is a responsibility all of us share, myself included. And so we're gonna, learn the basics of how the game works and start playing it, and then we'll probably cut to commercial when tonight's session is completed. The tone bounces between cozy and creepy. Most of the time, it's fairly lighthearted. There are times it will get very dark and menacing. Subject matter, of course, murder, threats to animals, children, ritual magic, human sacrifice, and other dark subject matter come up in this game from time to time. So consider yourself being given a heads up. So let's take a moment to talk through character creation. And to those of you that already have your character pretty much ready to go, that's totally fine. It just means you have a little head start. So you should all have your PDF sheets, character sheets. So you can circle a name, or you could actually write a name in if you don't like the options that are provided there. Totally fine. You want to pick a style, so you can pick a style from the list, or you can ultimately make your own. So some of these styles, just to give you an idea, you've got like your hippie style, your Dorothy Zbornak, which is Golden Girls style, your blouse barn, right, which is like the classic like I would say parts of probably Burlington Coat Factory, as well as Marshalls and other places along those lines, may have some of the kind of wear that would be at a blouse barn. Or you can get fancy like Jackie O, or like the Martha's Vineyard white cardigan sweater kind of vibe, right? And sandals, that kind of thing. So you'll pick one of those styles. Now, you're going to also want to circle a cozy activity. And then technically, ideally, no two mavens have the same cozy activity. So all of you can best play off of each other. So what we'll do to start with is we'll start with those that already have a character created, and we'll say what your cozy activity is going to be, to make sure that everybody has one that's uniquely their own. So Meg, why don't we start with you? What is your cozy activity?
My cozy activity is charity events, and I slashed it with volunteering.
Wonderful. Gee, no real life connection there at all.
No, absolutely not. I didn't dress the part either.
Yeah, that's great. Love it. Okay. And then Eric, you said you had a character. So what's your cozy activity?
Cooking.
Cooking? Wonderful. Love that. Love that. Might translate well into a bake-off, I think, potentially. So Ben, Christian, Emma, if any of you are ready, please let me know what your cozy activity is.
I have fishing.
Okay. Love it.
I have collecting.
Okay. Great. I can't wait to hear what you're going to end up collecting. I look forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining one way or the other. Not sure if it'll be dark or silly. We'll find out. And then Christian, what about you?
Yeah, I was hoping for gardening.
It looks like you got it. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, so each one of you on your abilities, you get 1 point, just one single point that you can add to one of your abilities. So you'll notice on your abilities, there's like a grayed out number. That's like your starting number, right? So the way in which you can make your character, different from everybody else is you can throw your extra 1 into one of these single abilities, whether changing it from a 0 to a 1, a 1 to a 2, or a -1 to a 0. So you want to do that as well. And then there will be opportunities through achievements to purchase additional ability modifiers as the game goes on. I do enjoy character sheets like this because it literally everything, it's all explained right there in front of you what needs to happen. Now, there was another file that was sent that has your Maven moves. So this is the other thing where, let's see. I believe with the Maven moves, the idea is to not have two people with the same Maven move. Because these are like your one special move that you can do that benefits, some aspect of your character. Most of the time, it's something related to helping you with the mystery. But in addition, some of them are actually, I think there's a couple that are moves that start at the beginning of the game. So if you pick that, you'll want to use that move at the beginning of the game. Okay. I know there's other, I think like Monster of the Week does that as well with some of their playbooks, some of their moves there. So, Meg, we'll just go back around the horn here. Meg, did you pick yourself a Maven move or an alternate Maven move?
Yes, it was an alternate Maven move. It was Tintin. And
Okay.
Tintin allows me to have a canine companion.
Son of a gun. Okay.
Her name is Gigi.
Wonderful. What is Gigi?
Gigi's a long-haired pit bull.
Okay. All right. Okay. Wow, that's just made it so easy for yourself there, didn't you?
You're welcome. Made it easy for you too.
I mean, fair. That's fair. That's fair. For those that didn't know, Meg likes pets.
Yeah.
Anyway, spoiler alert. Eric, so what did you pick for your Maven move?
That I didn't take yet.
Okay.
I've been kind of tossing a few around in my head.
Okay. We can come back to you. Does someone else have a Maven move that they think they want to pick out? Are ready to share?
I'm thinking about Jane Marple on the alternate moves. You can enter any place you wish and move freely during the day, as long as you're not hostile.
Okay. Sure. You can have Jane Marple. Why not? Ben, what about you?
I was thinking about Dale Cooper.
Okay. Let's see. Where's is that a standard Maven move? There it is.
Yeah, it's a standard. It's number 3. Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
Plus, I feel really obligated to do it too because my friend is the biggest Twin Peaks fan.
Oh,
I also
okay.
think it's just a really fun move as well. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So you're the only one that gets to have Dale Cooper. So I think actually technically, wait, let's see. No two Mavens get the same Maven move. Okay. Okay, got it. So Dale Cooper and Fox Mulder are the super special ones where only one of those can be Only one character. It says no two mavens can have Dale Cooper and Fox Mulder at the same time, though a single maven can acquire both. So technically then, Ben, your character having Dale Cooper may want to consider, if we come back to this system, you may want to consider, would you get Fox Mulder in a level up, right? To kind of use the combo of the two together. Okay, so we have Christian and Eric. If either of you have selected your Maven move.
Yeah, Oh, sorry, go on.
No, you're good.
Say Cadfield. Highly skilled herbalist, have an additional cozy activity, herbalism.
Okay.
Not only can I cook, but I can garden the greens as well.
I love that.
And I was wanting Sam's Spade, allowing me to enter any place I wish and move freely at night.
Ooh, okay.
So we got someone who can do it during the day and someone during the night. Also,
that's good thinking.
Smart.
Yeah.
Also, it says that I have a bit of an edge, and my Maven is a bit curmudgeonly, let's say.
Oh, I can't wait to meet her. Wonderful. How exciting. Okay. And then, so does everybody feel as though they have their character sheets ready to go?
Yeah. Only thing I was a little curious on was the cozy place.
Yeah.
That's just theoretically anything I want to put in there, right?
We're gonna get to that because we're gonna get to that because that's coming up here in just a second.
Okay, I'm ahead of it.
You're good. So it will be at the end. So we're gonna do character introductions, and then at the end of that, we'll do a cozy little place. And the cozy little, like, looking at these now, I'm like, I'm so glad I've gone through this game once before, because I'm like, ooh, I kind of did that part wrong, because this is way better than what we did last time I played this game with the cozy little place. So I look forward to sharing that, but we'll do that in a moment. So we're going to go around the virtual table, and I would love all of you to introduce your character. You're going to introduce your murder maven by name, your style, and then we already talked about like the cozy activity and your maven move. So you can talk about your name, your style, and then we'll go, and then after that, you can talk about your deceased partner. You could talk about if you have any children, as well as any pets, and then what your career was before you retired to Brindlewood Bay. Okay, and then once we go through that, then we'll do the cozy little place, and then we will start our mystery. So let's stick with what is tradition seems to be this evening, and Meg, we'll start with you. And why don't you tell me who you are? Tell me all the things.
Okay. So Astrid Longfellow is a retired speed walking champion who now spends her days at her local dog shelter walking adoptable shelter dogs in the hopes of adopting them out to the many tourists who come to Brindlewood Bay. Hopefully they go home with seashells in their pockets and a dog in their backseat. A year after she retired from the speed walking circuit, her trusty fellow workout partner, GB, passed in his sleep. GB was a 12-year-old pit bull who she had adopted from the same shelter that she now volunteers at. She never had a human partner aside from her friends in the Murder Mavens book club, but the dogs seemed to do a pretty good job of keeping her company and keeping her life full of love.
All right. Nice. So you replaced GB with GG?
Yes.
Okay. I'm tracking.
Well, GB is the dog who passed away. And GG is the dog who she now has.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Right.
Just
GB to GG. Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Tracking. Wonderful. So okay, yeah. So you've told us all this about yourself. And we know a lot more now about you. We know that you are a retired speed walker. We know that you volunteer and you try to home dogs. Just dogs?
Yeah, it's a dog shelter.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So now let's see. So the rest of us are gonna we're gonna kind of like just maybe workshop for a second. One object that can be found in your home in Brindlewood Bay, and that object is gonna go in your cozy little place section. What that one object would be. So what do you guys think would be a good object that Astrid would have in her home that's very representative of her life and her passions now?
Some dog training accessories.
Great. So you'll write down, so Astrid, you're going to write down dog training accessories. And it could be a leash, it could be anything that would be related to the purpose of training, or maybe could also be, let's say, rewarding your pet for during training when it's doing a good job, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So that's your that is your cozy little place item. And then, so Eric, why don't we, since you had pretty much everything ready to go, why don't we go to you?
Okay.
So tell us your name, your style, and then if you had a deceased partner, tell us what happened to them. If you have any children or any pets, and then what your career was before you retired to Brindlewood Bay.
Okay. Character's name's Pearl Taylor. She used to run a small deli down in New Jersey, an Italian deli. Made her own roast beef or cold cuts, all the different salads. Had other stuff shipped in, but mostly made a lot of her own stuff there. Never married, no kids. Did the job thing. That was everything. No time for anything other than the deli. Her style is kind of just really super casual, like Betty Crockett, but with jeans and a t-shirt instead.
Okay.
Nothing that's, nothing too fancy because it's probably going to get messed up in the kitchen while working.
Got it. Okay.
What were the other parts that you needed?
I think you covered it all, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, going back to the rest of the group, what is one object that could be found in Pearl Taylor's home, that would then be put into her cozy little place? I have something. You took the one thing, because when you retired from your deli, you left your deli behind. There was one thing that you brought back with you to your house, which is your smaller original tabletop deli slicer.
Okay.
Because you got a bigger, like more industrial restaurant one, right? As you started getting busier, but you still kept your first slicer, right? Because that's a part of that was a big part of how you started.
Got it.
And nothing beats, thin sliced meat anytime you want it. So that will be your item. And then why don't we go to Christian? Why don't you tell us about your character? Let's get a name, style, and then if you had a deceased partner, what happened to them, any children or pets, and then your career before you retired.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing Gertrude Palmer, also known as Granny Trude. She's in like her like late 60s, mid 70s kind of age. I don't really know a lot of the styles. Probably just showing how little I know about pop culture, but she wears like a paisley blouse, different like colors of paisley blouses with like longer skirts with floral patterns, and typically like a shawl over. That's usually kind of a very like gray mute color.
That's giving like hippie / thrift store kind of vibes. Sounds good.
She did have a spouse. Her late husband was a military vet who served in the Navy. He passed though under really mysterious circumstances, where he was on a boat that just went missing, and it came back like weeks after going missing, and he wasn't on it. The boat itself, like rudder, was destroyed. It just drifted back into the bay.
Wow.
She's originally from Boston. That's where she grew up. And her job that she mostly had growing up was or like, you know, when she was in her adult life, was working at different like diners and restaurants until she retired.
Okay. What did she do at the diner restaurants?
She was a waitress.
Okay. Got it. Wonderful. So go back to the group. This one might be could be a little bit more open-ended here potentially. Is what is the item that one object that can be found in Gertrude's home, in her cozy place?
I will say one thing to just help out a little bit. I'm going to really lean into the cozy activity. She really likes gardening, mostly because she likes to garden like a lot of like fruits and veggies, you know, peppers, tomatoes, berries, because she really dislikes sweet things, like chocolate. She does not like chocolate.
Okay.
She's always hated it.
Wow. But does she also hate white chocolate?
She's always hated it.
Okay, as long as she hates white chocolate, like too, because white chocolate's not really chocolate, so I already have a bias against it. She
remembers like first learning of chocolate. She always hated it.
Sounds good. So yeah, what's the one item in Gertrude's place?
Big bowl of white chocolate.
That's just cruel.
People keep bringing it over and it keeps just filling up a bit more and more.
That actually could work.
She
Maybe
keeps
her
adjusting.
husband had a big sweet tooth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, make sure as this item is identified for each of your characters, please make sure you do write it down or type it into your cozy little place section. And then, Ben, how about we go to you? Why don't you tell us about your character? If you remember all the things.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna try and go through my chaotic notes, but
go for it.
No, my character is Eugenia Kyles. She
what was the first name again? Eugenia or Virginia?
Eugenia.
Okay. Wonderful.
So she was pretty much like a fryer cook. She gained a lot of notoriety, basically through TikTok. Like people love her attitude and how grumpy she is. And so she utilized that kind of, new fame on the internet and made her own food truck. So she's kind of like the old grumpy female version of the movie Chef with Jon Favreau, but with seafood.
Nice. Yeah.
So after she kind of got tired of like a decent living, she retired from that, and now she just grumpily fishes along the bay, and pretty much all of her hobbies that she likes to do throughout the day. She is quite annoyed that she has to do anything, including the things that she loves. So that's kind of like what Eugenia is.
So everything annoys her.
Pretty much, yeah.
Awesome.
Everything and everyone.
And speaking of everything that annoys her, did she ever have a partner that may mayhaps be deceased now?
Good point. So, technically, I do mean technically, she was single all of her life except for one boyfriend who proposed to her, but she was so annoyed that he ruined the date, that she declined him and swore to never date again.
Wow. So she's been annoyed even since she's just generally an annoyed person since.
Honestly, I'm gonna say based.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay. What would Eugenia have her one item in her cozy place, which doesn't probably ever seem like it would be cozy if she's annoyed by everything? What's that one item?
You said that she was a cook. She was like a fry shop.
She was like a cook. Yeah, she was like she would fish her own like seafood, and then she would like cook it in her own food truck.
I think that like her like cozy little places like where she's got her like fishing gear.
Okay.
Like she
so yeah,
keeps it
you want
all-
to you want to mark that down, fishing gear, as your cozy place item. That's really nice. That's very apropos, I would say. I mean, you got stuck with white chocolate, so back to the draw. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was going to spoil the voice, but I'll do that later.
There you go.
Can't wait.
Oh yeah, be prepared for lots of bad accents that I'm not going to remember how I did them either. So it's going to be
Isn't that how it always goes?
Usually, yeah. I think those are the classic ones usually. All right, Emma. Last but most certainly not least, why don't you tell us about your murder maven, if you would?
Yeah. So her name is Naoma Gunderson.
Okay.
Her style is like Lena from like the Oli and Lena jokes. Very like Norwegian, very
okay.
Western. And she likes to collect different hand-painted lefse sticks that her neighbors make,
What
or
are
she
those?
gets from like Norway. So lefse is like a flat like potato bread essentially, and it's a like Norwegian dessert like dinner. You put sugar, brown sugar, butter on it.
Okay. Love this. Man,
yeah,
the details.
They're like yardsticks,
Okay.
but thinner, so that
Okay.
you can get it underneath. Yeah, it's a.
Okay. So is it like a utensil to help like make them with then?
Yeah, because you have to, on the griddle, you have to like pick them up with the stick and then like fold it back over. So it's just this really long stick with like a little edge on the tip of it, so you can get it underneath.
Okay. All right. So then what was so yeah, tell me about Naoma's like deceased partner, if they have one, any children or pets, and what that career was.
Yes. Naoma, she is married. Her husband, Sven, was a farmer, and they had 3 children together.
Okay.
Her career was being a secretary at the local church. And so she would handle a lot of the like getting prepared for service and the little like clubs on the side and the dinners and all that. So she kind of organized all that for the community.
How does it's side question just because I'm curious, like how do you think how does Naoma feel about coming upon all these like murders and stuff, having been a church secretary, right? Like, I mean, it might be a little scary.
Yeah, it's a little scary for her. She moved off the farm, and it's a whole big world.
But she loves those books so much that she's like, it's actually might be a little bit of a thrill, I would suppose, right?
For like secret, like little pleasure on the side.
Yeah. So knowing that like the way this game tends to go here is that you don't get to like you all of you as murder mavens are alone, right? So Naoma, did Sven leave or did something happen to him?
There was an accident. He passed away. They found him. He went out to do chores, and one night he didn't come back up for dinner, and they found him in the barn.
Gotcha. I was waiting to see if you were going to say like part of his body under a combine or something. You know, like,
I thought about that, but
so all right. And then your children are not in Brindlewood Bay. So where did they end up going to? Do you know?
One of them she doesn't hear from really anymore. Her oldest took over the farm, and another one still lives back near the farm.
Still lives.
Still lives back near the farm.
Should have ended it with still lives.
Just left it. Still lives.
For now.
Yeah, for now. All right, awesome. So what do you guys think? What is that one item in the cozy little place for Naoma? Any thoughts?
I'm really stuck on like the left stick.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious. Yeah.
Okay. What if it's a special collection of ones though that she doesn't actually use? How about that?
They're her display lefses.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. Like they're just hanging on the wall, right?
Decorative lefses.
And there's like different links. Like there's like the kids introductory one, and then they get longer, right? You know,
like measuring spoons.
Yeah, exactly.
Measuring lefses.
We could kind of pull out the heartstrings and be like, it's the one that her husband used.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh yeah, there's 4 of them. There's because you had 3 kids, right? No, there's 5 of them. So there's each one of you has a favorite, and they're all hanging on the wall next to each other. There you go. That's your cozy little place thing. That's awesome. All right, so yeah, you guys did the hard part, right? Because the rest of this is just totally smooth sailing. So, let's see. So, in the end of session section of your character sheet, you should now mark 2 end of session questions in addition to the first one that's automatically marked. So, out of those questions in end of session, pick 2 and mark them. We will get to them at the end of the session. In addition to that, any characters have any Maven moves that fire off at the beginning of the session? Let's resolve them now. Anybody have any? It doesn't. I think the only one was might have been you, Eugenia. I think you had I think your move had a beginning part, if I recall.
Yeah, so let me see if I can get to it. Yeah, so at the beginning of a session, the keeper will give you a void clue in the form of a strange, unsettling dream you experience.
Yep. Yeah, so did you already add 1 to your sensitivity?
Yeah.
And that is in addition to the 1 that you get already. So you technically have gotten a +1 in your sensitivity, and then an additional 1 you can use anywhere else. Okay, so a void clue in the form of a strange, unsettling dream that you experience. I am tracking on that. Just give me 1 second here to find my void clues. Okay, yeah. Let's see. I'm looking at your past. Okay, got it. Okay. So, yeah, so so it's the night before it's the night before the start of the great Brindlewood Bay Bake Off. And you're excited to go and take part in this competition. But you are very much annoyed at the fact that you can't just do something with fish, and that you have to actually abide by whatever stupid rules they have at their show. But you're willing to do that because you know that whatever you make is going to probably be better than everybody else's. Even your fellow mavens, you love them dearly, but you just know they're just going to struggle with their dishes, right? And that's the thing that are, just kind of, you like to find these faults and complain about them in inner monologue, probably, right? Because they're your friends. So as you fall asleep, you go into this very deep dream state, and you are dreaming that you're once again back on your food truck, and you've got your little tripod and ring light, and you've just hit record, and you've just opened your window for business for the day. You've got your short line of people, and you just start being rude to people as they are asking them what they want to order, in whatever characteristic way you're doing so. And some people walk up to the window, and they say, oh, it's Jeannie Kyles. Oh man, I can't wait for her to cuss me out. This is going to be great. Let's just check this out. And they're like, and everything's like, you're vibing, like you're selling all kinds of fish fries. You have one employee that works with you on the busier times when you go to certain locations that are going to be really busy, and you can't manage it all on your own. So this is all happening. Everything's great. You're grooving, and then you're like, oh, I should think about stopping the video. But then as you turn to look at the next customer looks at you, and they have no facial features, and their face is just like skin over like a skull. There's no eyes, no nose, no mouth, nothing, and they're just going, but they're like yelling, and like just like you feel the panic just take you over as this figure with absolutely no discernible facial features is literally muffled screaming at you, and it sounds like they're either yelling something to you, or it could be obscenities. Kind of hard to really tell. But you just know it's making you feel very, 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 very unsafe and full of anxiety. And you kind of start to freak out, and as you back away, your hand knocks over your tripod and knocks the phone down. And then you're at the same time, your one employee, like he burns himself on fryer oil, and it's just this instantaneous moment of chaos and everything going wrong. And then you wake up. And right as you wake up, you catch just one more brief flash of that featureless face, like right up in your right up in your grill, like in your personal space, just going, and then you wake up. That's your there's your void clue. We'll leave that there.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Good. Glad. That was what I was going for. So yeah. So that's all the beginning stuff. All your characters are all set up and ready to go. So we're going to jump right into it, guys. Get psyched. Let's see. Let's show some fun visuals here for you. All right. So, welcome one and all to the Great Brindlewood Bay Bake Off. And let's see, mixing my sheets up here. Sorry, I've got a lot of printouts. There we go. Okay. So the Great Brindlewood Bay Bake Off is a beloved culinary competition show that has been around for well over a decade and has become a cherished tradition in the picturesque seaside town of Brindlewood Bay. Each year, bakers from all walks of life and corners of the country, home cooks, aspiring pastry chefs, and even a few eccentric hobbyists gather under the glimmering lights in the specially designed kitchens that are set up outside the public access studios where you showcase the sweetest of creations. So, I would like to ask each one of you, all of you are immense fans of the Jolly Good Baking Show. It's no Amanda Delacorte, but damned if you don't love the drama and intensity that happens on the Jolly Good Baking Show. And it's all connected. For each one of you have a connection to like one of your character's favorite memories. So we're going to go around and you can share with me what that favorite memory is that connects to the Jolly Good Baking Show. Okay. So we're going to switch it up this time and we're going to start with Gertrude. Gertrude, what is your favorite memory that's connected to the Jolly Good Baking Show?
Putting me on the spot here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that it would be time with my late husband, watching the show together, in those moments where we were able to.
Okay.
When he was not overseas or on a ship. Those nice moments together, because again, he loved sweets. I didn't, but because he did, of course, I wanted to watch this with him.
Such a kind partner. I mean, that's wonderful.
Only to him.
Yeah, fair. Okay, great. So we've talked to Gertrude. Pearl, what's the favorite memory that connects to Jolly Good Baking Show for you?
One of the episodes, they featured a kind of like a deli salad that was very similar to one that I learned how to make when I was first getting involved in cooking.
Okay.
So it's kind of like got me watching it, even though, baking isn't really my thing. Every once in a while, they threw something in that was kind of like a side dish.
Okay. That tracks. I like that. That's cool. So what about Naoma? What about you? What's your favorite memory?
Naoma always loved and enjoyed that she and her daughter would always try to recreate some of the desserts and sweet treats that were made on the show.
That's freaking adorable. You're really setting up Naoma to be quite a wholesome maven in the mix here. Astrid, what about you? That would be you, Meg.
Oh, sorry. I'm writing down my memory so I don't forget it. So Astrid's favorite memory or connection to the show is probably being snuggled on the couch with GB, blanket over her lap, dog kind of like laying in between her legs, also facing the TV, a bowl of popcorn in between the two of them, and she just chucks pieces of popcorn over GB's head to catch and to eat while she gives a running commentary of the show, like acting like she's also a judge.
Nice. I love that. Love that. Okay. And Eugenia, how about you? What's your favorite memory?
Yeah, probably my favorite memory probably is a little more self-centered. So one of the episodes she watched a really what for her it seemed like a really good key lime pie recipe. So she wrote down everything that the person was doing. And so when she made it for everyone around the bay, they absolutely loved it. And so I took credit for the recipe and I took all the praise with it too. So
Okay.
getting that praise and from everyone and seeming like I'm probably better than what I actually am when it comes to that. It's probably my favorite memory associated to the show.
Okay. Awesome. Wonderful. So this just proves the fact that you all came up with some pretty good memories just proves that all of you really, really deeply do care about the Jolly Good Baking Show. It means a lot to all of you. And the great Brindlewood Bay Bake Off is a special like competition that takes place on the Jolly Good Baking Show, right? And it's been happening for years. And you all love it. You all love it so much. And so I don't necessarily know that everybody though would have taken part in the actual Bake Off, right? So Pearl, I feel like you would take on the Bake Off. You would finally decide, you know what, I can do this. That's kind of the vibe I would get from you. What do you think?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes. Would Pearl be in the competition?
Probably not, because baking is not really like baking and cooking are completely different.
Okay.
Cooking you can go by vibes. Baking you really have to follow a recipe and yeah, sometimes you just like to throw an extra dash of spice in.
Okay. That is fine. That is fine. That is fair. Naoma, would you be in the Bake Off?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Love that. Eugenia, I kind of think I already know this answer, but can I ask anyway? Would you be in the Bake Off?
Yeah, her hubris would say yeah.
Yeah. What about Gertrude?
Gertrude, not really liking any sort of like sweets, would likely not participate in eating anything. However, she did make a lot of these with her husband back in the day. Okay. And although she doesn't like them, she knows how to make them. I think she would go for it.
Okay. All right.
As weird as it might sound.
Was not expecting that little twist. I like that. And then Astrid, what about you?
Astrid would not. She knows her limits are dog biscuits, which are made with like apple, pumpkin, and an egg. That's about it.
Yeah.
So
great. I love this actually. This is perfect. So, because here's how it's going to go. So so we talk about Gertrude and Eugenia and Naoma. You will all be contestants. You will be contestants along with Scott and Melanie. Those are, spoiler alert, those are NPCs.
My mortal enemy.
Oh, perfect. Love it. Yes, love it. Love it. Roll with it. So you guys are the contestants. And then we're going to say Pearl and Astrid, you showed up to support your friends. Your fellow mavens, right? You want to be there for them and kind of make sure no funny business goes on, so they stand a fair chance at potentially having a victory. Wouldn't that be nice? So Pearl, we're gonna say you and Astrid are sitting, like you're sitting in the audience, but Pearl, you realize that Astrid, of course, insisted on sitting close to the judges so that she can really hone in on what they're saying and then try to, like pull you into judging this whole competition. So I feel like, I feel like Pearl would be there a little bit reluctantly, but I don't know that I know Pearl well enough to say that. But that's my initial assumption.
Reluctantly judging or just reluctantly in the audience?
Reluctantly in the audience.
I mean,
but I could be wrong.
I mean, it's got to do with food, so she'll probably be interested
That's
in
fair.
That.
Well, because you could very well be like, hey, maybe they're going to have another side dish in this competition.
Yeah.
Give me some inspiration. And says, and so then essentially, at this point you're settled in. So the three of you that are in the competition all have your own little station, right? So you've got your prep area, you've got your little oven and stovetop, very much like Great British Bake Off kind of vibe going on, with your setup. And so as you were going through, and kind of checking out your space and getting ready, you see the hosts that you recognize and know and love, Sue Mellon and Timothy Boosh. And they come out and they look at all the contestants, and they're just like, oh, look at you all so excited and full of creativity, just oozing out of your pores, ready to make some wonderful tasty treats. This is going to be a great time. It won't be just but a couple minutes now. The last of the audience is getting settled in, and we're going to get started, and we're just going to jump right in. Okay. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. So then Timothy, he just kind of walks around. He's got a cane that's more for fashion than for need. And he's like looking, he comes up, checks out Eugenia, checks out like your bench area and like how you've set everything up. He's like, that looks like you're quite prepared. Look at you. Well done. Good job. That looks so great. I've never baked anything ever. I like to eat it though. It looks great. Wonderful. Okay then. And you, and he comes over to you, Naoma. What are those flat stick things you have there? Those look interesting.
Yeah, these are lefse sticks, don't you know?
Left of what?
Lefse? It's made with potatoes.
But okay, interesting. Are they sweet?
Yes. Well, you can make them sweet. You add sugar. Oh, it's delicious.
I mean, sweet potatoes are pretty good. This is probably just fine. That's great. Okay, thank you. And he just kind of prances off, and he doesn't even bother with you, Gertrude, or the other two contestants, Scott and Melanie. And Scott just kind of like, oh my God, I swear, this just gets worse and worse every year. And then she glances over, he glances over at you, Gertrude. Oh, and why are you here? You think you can go toe to toe with me? Are you serious right now? For real? Come on.
All right. Yeah. So Gertrude, just with her like sunken in eyes and her hook nose, like just stares back, glaring at her, and just says, "Yeah, I remember when I had to act like that. It was because I knew that I wasn't good enough for this." She talks in her like kind of chain smoker voice.
Okay. It's like, whatever. Seriously. Sorry, The contestants just keep getting older and older. Jeez.
Besides, I'm not here for you. And as I glare over to Scott, who is just like,
no, that's who you're talking to right now. You're talking.
I thought I was
Scott
talking to
right now.
Melanie.
Oh no, you're talking to Scott right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I glare at Scott real hard. Don't like Scott.
It's like, okay, we'll see. We'll see who's in the finals. So then you hear a voice saying, all right, everybody, quiet on the set. We're going to get started here and yeah, let's get going. And you see that, you see a gentleman, his name is Heath. He's got some really wonderful hairstyle going on with, just hair around the sides, nothing on the top. And then this handsome young stud named Buck, who's the cameraman, and he's just kind of holding the camera and just happy to be there. So, yeah, it's about time to get started. And you hear like the theme music kind of playing in the background, and everybody's getting excited, and there's someone holds up a sign that says clap, and everybody starts applauding and gets really excited. And then the camera goes to Sue and Timothy, and they are standing in front of nearby where Astrid and Pearl, where you were sitting, right? So you're in the background behind these guys while in the camera shot. Sue says, well, welcome back, everyone. It's looks like we've hit the semifinals and finals, so this is pretty exciting. We've got our contestants ready and raring to go. And Timmy, how are the contestants looking? And Tim says, hey, Sue, some are looking rather stone-faced and ready to go. Especially that one over there, and points at Gertrude, who's just probably just still glaring at Scott. and then says, yeah, I'm just happy to be here, and I don't know a thing about baking, so I'm gonna ask really stupid questions. That's gonna be pretty hilarious, I think. And yeah, that's kind of my role here in this co-host spot. So then Sue says, okay, well, that's this. Great. She rolls her eyes. Well, then let's get into the first part of the competition today. You know what we're going to make, everyone? We're going to make pies. And then there's this whole cutscene, and the camera like kind of goes away, and Sue looks at all of you and says, oh, this is the cutscene sequence stuff that happens in the background. The camera will be back. In just a minute, okay? And then, so they do their thing, because this is like it's recorded, but they're pretending like it's live. Is kind of the vibe here. And then Sue gets back. The camera comes back on. Sue says, okay, well, let's go around to our fellow bakers, and let's find out what kind of pie they're going to make, shall we? And being that this is like a competition show, you've already figured out what pie you're going to make, and you have all your ingredients that you need, everything already staged, ready to go, because that's how those shows work. They make it seem like it's not the case, but it really is. And we're going to start with, I think we should start with Eugenia. Eugenia, what kind of, Sue comes up to you. What kind of pie? I'd give you a hug, but you look rather busy because I'm a hugger, So tell me, what sort of pie are you baking?
So she kind of, as she prepares to speak, she gets her kind of like Coke bottle, and glass is just really thick. Her like eyes just look super tiny, and as she's like trying to like, I'm not saying like she's cheating, but just to kind of remind herself of like the recipe. But she's not like the most natural baker. She sees like the key lime pie recipe and like written in like pen in her hand. She's like, oh, I'm going to do a key lime pie. What is it to you?
Wow. Well, we'd like to know what everybody's going to make, dear. Thank you for sharing. I do hope it comes out well. Good luck. And then she walks over.
I don't need luck.
And then she walks over to to Melanie, and she's like, She's like, it's like, oh, hello there, dear. What are you gonna make? She's like, oh man, oh, oh, um, I'm gonna make a pecan pie. That's what I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make a pecan pie, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be the tastiest thing you've ever had. You know, I bake for a living. Oh, really? That's very interesting. That's wonderful. What? Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I mean, I just, we had a family bakery here in Brindlewood Bay, but of course, I had to shut it down because a larger chain bakery came in and took away all my business, and so now I have to do competitions like this to try to, etch a living out for myself because I'm nearly homeless, and this is a really terrible time for me. But you know what? Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna win, and everything. It's okay, dear. That's great. That's wonderful. Thank you. And she kind of like motions the camera to move away. And then we're gonna go over to Gertrude. And Sue comes up to you, Gertrude, says, what kind of pie are you planning to make there, dear?
What does it look like? As I am holding a bunch of chocolate. and I'm getting it I'm getting it melted for the pie.
Oh, that's a chocolate pie. I do love chocolate. And then she turns and says, "Oh, Timmy, it's Timothy. She's making a chocolate pie." It's all chocolate. I do quite enjoy some chocolate. This is very exciting. This is very, very exciting. This is just getting better and better. Sue, ask her what she's baking. Ask her. Ask the weird one over there with the sticks.
Wow, Timmy, I understand why people say what they say about you now.
What do they say about me?
Gertrude doesn't answer.
He crosses his arms. He goes, What is she making? And points at you, Naoma, and like Sue's like kind of rushing over as best as she can on her little legs to come over to you. Yes, dear. What are you making?
Oh, hello there. Today I will be making a strawberry rhubarb pie.
Oh, the rhubarb. Do you?
Yeah.
I wonder. Do you by chance make any salads that aren't really salads as well in your repertoire of recipes, perhaps? I bet you do.
Yes, I do.
You know, maybe we can trade some recipe ideas on the break. I'd love to talk to you more about that, as a matter of fact. That's so wonderful.
That would be so wonderful, Sue.
She's like, okay, can I just hug you? Can I hug you, please?
Oh, of course.
She comes running around and gives you this hug. And of course, you're taller than she is. And she's just like, hugging you. And she's like, nothing like a great hug before a semifinal. This is going to be so fun. And she walks around from the other side, and then goes over goes over to Scott's bench. Oh, hello, Scott. And her tone of voice totally changes. And he's like, yeah, hi, Sue. Yeah, it's me again. We think about that, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to be so bitter just because you lost last year. I don't want to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about how I'm going to win because I'm making an apple pie. Matter of fact, it's a caramel apple pie. It's going to beat the crap out of that nonsense chocolate pie that old bag's got going on down there. Seriously, can't even imagine. So pies have been identified. So now, I think I would really like to know. So what we're going to do is, since you and Pearl are sitting by the judges, then you're going to help judge the pies. So, first up, so So the pie, so everybody's making their pie, working really hard. Everybody has their pie. They're ready to present, and they are presenting it before the judges. And those judges are Jane Leaf and Paul Riviera. And Jane is she's very cold, very, very calculated. Paul Riviera, he's kind of hot-headed. He's kind of like the older, the older silver fox, like Simon Cowell of the baking competitions, and he's just kind of a special sort of jerk. And they're going to be the ones judging your pie. But in reality, it's going to be Astrid and Pearl that are going to say whether or not your pie is a triumph or rather disappointing. So, Pearl, you see that Naoma presents her strawberry rhubarb pie to the judges. Is her pie going to be a triumph or rather disappointing?
Well, I do like strawberry, but I'm not a big fan of rhubarb.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll give it even odds here. Give me a second.
Yes, let the dice decide.
Mhm.
So it'll be evens for it's a triumph, odds for not.
Okay.
It is not a triumph.
Okay.
It's that rhubarb. There's a little too much rhubarb in there for me.
Yeah. So Sue announces your pie. Oh, here we have Naoma with her wonderful strawberry rhubarb pie. And then you present like slices on plates, right? Like instead of like a full pie. Like there's already been shots of the full pie and like the little cutscene ass thing that goes on, right? And now it's the judge moment, and they have their pies in front of them. And Jane takes a bite, and then she kind of makes gets like a little bit of a sour face. She's like, "Dear, my is this a lemon strawberry rhubarb pie?"
No.
Oh, I'm afraid then you may have entered the wrong pie in the competition, because this sure does taste rather tart to the point of where it's did you pour lemonade in this?
Not that I would do that no. You can't ruin strawberry rhubarb.
And Paul like he takes a fork and takes the littlest bite, and he tastes it. Awful, simply awful. And then like, oh, and then they cut. And now Astrid. So we have Scott's apple pie.
Well, Scott, I also
And
love
he's-
the idea of letting the dice decide. So
Yeah.
I will roll here as well. Would we
Sure.
say odds are disappointing, evens
Yep.
are triumph?
Yep.
Fingers crossed it's bad.
Oh,
Dang
Oh,
it.
it's a 4. That pie
So-
looks
so-
good.
So Scott kind of sachets up, and sets his slices down like a little bit aggressively. Hey, Paul. But there's no need for your attitude. You don't own me. You don't tell me what to just eat my pie. Seriously. I don't need all your extra comments. You were such a jerk last time. And you hear Sue, like she's like kind of leaning into Buck over on the side off mic, and she's just like, some of you can kind of hear her saying like, we can edit his nonsense out, right? We don't have to listen to all of his complaining. Yes, we can put maybe mute some or voice over or something like. And then he sets the pie down, and Jane's like, oh, this smells This smells divine. Why, Scott, I didn't think you had it in you after last year. And then she takes a bite and she's like, this is wonderful. The apples are caramelized and there's you got the little drizzle on top of the crust. This is fantastic. And Paul takes a bite and it's like, it's palatable. And that's Scott's pie experience. And Scott, as he turns around and walks back, he kind of struts a little bit and just freaking mean mugs the living shit out of Gertrude as he walks by, just like, chocolate pie. And it's at this time then, Gertrude, that your chocolate pie is up. And Pearl, we are back to you. Is Gertrude's chocolate pie a triumph?
Ooh,
or a disappointment?
Chocolate. I'm gonna go with triumph for chocolate.
You're like, I'm not even gonna roll the dice on this.
I like chocolate pudding, and chocolate pie sounds like chocolate
that's
pudding.
Fine.
So
that's fine. You guys are picking the dice or not. It's up to you. That's totally fine. I'm good with that. All right, so yeah, I got to write
that
this
apple
down.
one would be just no, because there's so many apple pies. But
right, yeah, you don't see often what do you got? There's like the chocolate pudding pie. You got the French silk, that kind of stuff. Like all these.
Yeah, it's like the chocolate
variations.
It's like the chocolatey, like kind of almost like a mousse on the inside.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's pretty like nice and thick, so you can make like nice slices out of it, and then on top of it, it's got like the heavy cream mixed with like with sugar to make like kind of a whipped cream on top, and then I just sprinkled a bunch of the white chocolates that I've gotten from all the people around town who just gift them to me. They're just crumpled up and then placed on top.
Because you're like, I hate chocolate. I don't care. You're just gonna get all the chocolate. I don't want it.
I'm not gonna eat this.
So you serve up the slices, and Paul takes a bite, and he's like, "Oh, why? This is some of the best chocolate pie I think I've ever had. How did you manage this? I dare say it's incredible."
Question: was Paul one of the like cooks like way back? Like I might have seen him baking. Or like
you tell me, was he?
Yeah. You know what?
Right.
He's such a snob on food. He's kind of like the Gordon Ramsay here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So I'm just gonna say, well, back in the day, me and my husband, we used to watch you bake. And so I learned from you. I just took a few liberties with the recipe.
I thought I recognized the greatness of this recipe. I understand now. This makes complete sense. This is fantastic. There should be no further competition. You should just win it all right now. This is a waste of everybody else's time, as a matter of fact. And then he just kind of like, he sort of looks a little flustered. Like this chocolate pie really like took him places. And she just sort of like, so it cuts over to Jane and she's like, "Yes, dear, it's quite lovely." That's all she says. Right. So
as I pass by Scott, I just say,
"How's that go?"
Yeah, so your apple pie was a nice story, but in what chapter do you shut up in this book?
That's great. I love that.
And I go back to my spot. I hope that I made him give like a harumph right there.
Oh yeah. He just like, and you swear you hear him go, "Bitch."
Please tell me that he's wearing like a polo salmon shorts and he's got like a sweater over his like shoulders.
He's so he's got like a Vineyard Vines like hoodie, like kind of wrapped around over his shoulders instead of a sweater. But he's still got like the polo. The polo, it's got a little Vineyard Vine whale embroidered on it, and he's got his white boat shoes on. And he's just his legs are smooth, so smooth, and he's just short hair, and he's just like got this sourest face on, staring you down. And then we're gonna go to why don't we do Eugenia real quick, and then we'll take care of Natalie at the end. So Eugenia, you are presenting your pie, and Astrid is gonna say how if this pie is a triumph or a disappointment.
I think it's going to be a triumph just because this is the Brindlewood Bay renowned key lime recipe that everybody in town knows about.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling it. So yeah, is this key lime with like meringue on top? Or key lime with like whipped cream on top?
Whipped cream.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's bold.
It's a pretty
bold
tart one too.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so you put your slices out, and Paul like eats a bite, and he's like, oh, and he's like holding his cheeks. He's like, if I like taut things, this would be wonderful. And he pushes it away, and then Jane takes a bite. She's like, so delightful. This is wonderful. Great palate cleanser after these last few. That chocolate was good, but rather heavy. This is fantastic. Wonderful job.
So, is it Paul the one that insulted me?
I mean, maybe, because he did say like if you like he didn't. It's just too tart for him. But I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, I feel like Eugenia would take that as an insult.
Yeah. So she she kind of like she does snipe back, and so like kind of like under her breath, but just she knows just loud enough to where he can hear, and she just goes, "If you'd give me a blindfold, I'd be able to judge as bad as you."
Oh. He's like, well, I never. And he like his glasses. Half the time he's had his glasses on top of his head, right? And so he puts them back down on and he just kind of scowls at you a little bit. It's like, you got to the next, you advanced. I don't know why you have to be so mean. And he just starts to drink water, and like, so he doesn't feel the need to say anything further. And then last but very much least probably in this situation, we have our other let's see, Melanie, our other NPC. She comes up with her pecan pie, and Pearl. How is that pecan pie a triumph or a absolute disappointment?
Personally, I don't like pecan pies. I don't like pecans.
Okay.
I'm not to say no.
She's taking the hit.
She's going to have to take the hit. Using my personal pie bias.
Pie bias.
One could say pious.
Nice. I'm pious. So he sat down. She sets down the slices of pecan pie, and she's like kind of wringing her hands, like nervously, like, "Oh man, I hope, hope you." And they each take a bite, and one of them, like Paul, just spits it out on the table. This was an atrocity. Why is it? It's salty. It's terrible. It's awful. It's just, what? Like, she just looks like this. Her face turns white, and she's just horrified. What do you mean? What do you mean? I worked so hard on this. This is the classic recipe from my family's bakery. This can't be possible. And then she walks over to her bench, and she checks her salt and her sugar, and she tastes them, and she's like, "These are both salt. Someone switched out my sugar for more salt. This betrayal will not stand. Someone is trying to sabotage me. This is unacceptable. And she knocks over one of the jars of salt and like starts to like freak out. And then Sue's like, oh, okay, cut, please cut. She goes over and then she leans into Melanie and like whispers to her and it's whispering in her ear. You can't hear what they're saying, what she's saying, and Melanie just starts like crying, and then she breathes in, exhales, and wipes her eyes and goes back up to the judges, and Sue like makes this motion with her hand, like circular motion. Okay, continue rolling, please, and then Jane looks like, and very slowly and sort of in a scared way goes to take a bite of the pie. And takes a bite and is like, and just makes this horrendous face as she's like chewing, and then she swallows, and then she just grabs water and just drinks a whole glass of water. It's like, a little bit off, dear, but otherwise nice try. And she just puts her head down, and then Sue says, "Okay, well we'll be right back, and we will be right back, and then we will go into the judging, and we will see who makes it to the finals." And so then it cuts away here, and then they're just kind of like walking around, like Sue is grabbing a drink, and then like everybody's getting ready, and then they're like their countdown. They say, okay, back from commercial in 10, and then like they count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then they're back, because they're not really, as I said, they're not really live. They're just playing it like they are, and you're all lined up in front of the judges, and judges say, well, Paul says, well, all of you, all of you did a job, and you made a pie. So that was you succeeded in making a pie. So well done on all of you making pies of your different flavors. But unfortunately, we will have to say goodbye to. And there's like pause for no reason. Well, we have to, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Melanie. And she just starts bawling, and just storms through some of you and kind of pushes you out of the way as she walks off camera. And you just hear in the distance her just like scream crying, like, ah! She's like super upset. And Sue's like, well, I mean, this is the Great Brindlewood Bay Bake Off after all. There wouldn't be quite that without a little bit of drama. So, yes. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we will be back in just a few moments with our next competition round. Spoiler alert: it's cake. And then she's like, and then you hear cameraman's like, okay, all right, cut. Everybody can take a break, take 5. So maybe give a moment for you all to kind of interact with each other's characters, to like, because you're the Mavens, you hang out together, so you talk to each other. So it might be a good time to interact and say like, and congratulate people on their pies, things like that, and maybe just connect for a second while I set up the next scene.
So, yeah, Gertrude comes up to everybody and begins talking about Melanie, actually. And she's like, they say there's someone out there for everyone, but for that girl, she definitely needs a therapist.
Maybe a pacifier.
Wow.
me and Eugenia, we're just like best friends because all we do is just gossip about people behind their backs and make fun of them.
I feel like that tracks.
Maybe in front Maybe in front of them too for me.
Honestly, probably for me too.
Yeah.
We're just
Nice.
mean old ladies.
I mean, that feels right, you know? I kind of think.
Crap.
That's awesome. So anybody else have, oh, by the way, I do want to state that the judges have walked off set to, go break in their respective areas. I believe that, yeah. So there's a judge's tent where they're able to go and sort of like decompress, have a beverage or something. And there's trailers for the other stars, so to speak, that are on this cooking show. So yeah, any other conversations wish to be had? You guys gonna check in with? You see Astrid and Pearl sitting in the audience. Anybody gonna have any interactions with them before we move on?
Yeah, I think we would all get together, right?
Yeah.
We're all friends. We all like each other.
I would say so. The one thing to keep in mind too is there's a reference chart that has your moves, like your day move, night move, the cozy move, the Gold Crown Mysteries move, which will be applicable when a mystery does begin, the occult move, the meddling move is when you're trying to find clues, and then theorize is when you get to the end of the mystery. So if you see an opportunity for your character to use any of those moves as we progress, you would just call it out, and then you could make a roll to do said move. A lot of times with these mysteries is that there's not a ton of moves on the front end, a little bit more on the role play side, and then you usually start to slide into a lot more of the moves and that aspect as we progress. So all of you kind of clustered together, you're socializing, and everything's pretty chill. And it's at this point that all of you hear a rather significantly loud, blood-curdling scream in the area where the trailers are.
That can't be good.
Oh dear.
I'd say my hearing aids are maybe a little bit off, so I just go, "Pardon?"
Now, what do you think the murder mavens are gonna now? Murder mavens, you're an established group of people that like get yourself into things that you meddle. So who's meddling? Who's leading the charge here?
I'm not gonna lie, Gertrude is all about getting into people's business.
Yep. I mean, I would say that each of you probably plays a role, right? And there may be some more alphas in the group that would always kind of be the first ones to kind of jump at the sign of an opportunity to see what's going on. Go ahead.
The Fred, Velma, and Daphne of the group.
Exactly. Right. So you head into the direction of the trailers, and you see Melanie standing over a body that is lying on the ground in front of a trailer. And as you approach, you see that it is Paul Riviera lying outside of the trailer, and there is a rather large bag of flour that is over the top of his face. We're talking like it's like a 25, 30 pound sack of flour that's partly been torn open. So there's some spilled flour on the ground, and the bag of flour is over his face, and he's not moving. And Melanie's, oh my God, he's dead. And she goes to walk away, like she's gonna try to storm off. But there's of course security around the outer vicinity of the set, right, to keep any folks from getting in is the goal here of security. And so there's like a security guard kind of comes up. He's like, oh crap. Oh, this isn't good. Oh crap. We gotta call the cops. Crap. All right, nobody's allowed to leave. Nobody can leave the set. Nobody. None of you. Hey, all you ladies, you can't. None of you can leave the set. None of you. Okay? Y'all gotta stay. You can't go anywhere. We gotta call the cops. So and you see another security guard in the back. He calls the police. And then one of you, like, so there's like this brief moment of calm of security's busy, like nobody's around the body except those of you that chose to be near the body. Is there anything you would maybe want to consider taking the opportunity to do at this point?
So I'm going to talk to the Mavens and say something that they have heard me say during every single one of our mysteries that we've needed to solve.
Okay.
It was Scott. It was absolutely Scott. I guarantee it this time. I mean, he had a motive. He and Paul, they got a disagreement when they were doing the judging. It was Scott. Plus, he's just a jerk.
It's always Scott, according to you.
I guarantee it this time. I bet you that he probably had something to do with the other ones too. I just couldn't find the clues for it to be pinned on him.
Anybody gonna take a closer look at the situation or anything?
Yeah, I think
got
I'd
some.
Am I able
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
like go to the bag of flour and like would it be too inappropriate to like try to remove it or anything?
Well, currently right now in this moment, so that to me sounds like the day move. So if you look at the reference, the day move says when you do something risky or face something you fear, name what you're afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve. So you want to, it's risky to move this bag of flour, right? Because there's still security around. The cops have been called. Everybody's kind of distracted and sort of like scrambling to try to figure out what they're doing. So so you're doing something risky by engaging directly with the body. So what are you afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
Could I tie it to the dream where like
Sure, yeah.
I know that
Sure, whatever, yeah.
I had that flash of like the faceless man. It's almost like this irrational fear of just like it just kind of like just almost like the flash from when I first woke up. It had like the little flash in that moment. I'm like, I know this is an irrational fear, but still like I still have to truck on and attempt to remove this.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like you should roll for this day move.
Okay. Would that be considered composure?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Sure. So you can do you have a modifier of 1 there?
No, it's just blank. So
well, what's the little grayed out number in there?
Which is 1.
Yeah, that's your modifier because those are just built-in static, and then you get the extra plus 1 that you can use.
Okay, so it's a 2d6 plus the modifier.
You got it. So roll those and let's see what you get. Okay. So you got a 9. So I'm going to tell you how your actions will leave you vulnerable if you choose to continue with moving this bag of flour. So it would leave you vulnerable by this would not be an easy act for you to move this 30-pound bag of flour, and it's probably going to draw more attention to you than you would want. So you can either continue to move the flour and take the risk that it entails, or you could just not.
Does anyone want to like interact with me to maybe like move me in one way or the other?
Yeah. Does anybody want to like provide an assist or cover or anything like that? Like that's an option as well.
I can assist.
Sure.
What do you need me to do?
So I would say for you, you can describe how you want to assist, really. You can either help, so what's the assist action you'd want to do? Would it be something directly to help out Eugenia in this situation, or are you going to provide some sort of additional distraction or cover? So it's either you either help directly or indirectly.
I figure I'd help pretty directly, just moving this thing.
Yep. So then, yeah, I think you should roll. You should roll as well. Why don't you roll 2d6? And I feel like we can give you if you have a modifier in your vitality. I'm not sure where you put your extra one, but if you have a modifier in your vitality, you can add that.
I did not. I put it in reason.
Okay.
So, but hey, I'm pretty good at lugging around kitchen supplies.
Right. Nice. Nice. You got a 10. So nice. Fantastic. So yes, you were able to help assist in the moving of this bag, where you slide it off very, very smoothly and don't actually spill or make any much of a bigger mess. And you're able to see Paul's flour-covered face.
Woohoo!
With a whole bunch of moisture around the mouth, right? Because Paul was like probably spitting, yelling into that bag of flour as his breath was being slowly cut off from him. So
I'd say as this is kind of removed, I do kind of harken back to what I said to him earlier, and I'm like, well, I guess he did find a way to blind himself or blindfold himself.
Wow.
So, and I kind of like look at everyone. And I'm like, what's just smush all over his mouth?
Does it look like there's a lot of like flour in his mouth, like he was like inhaling the flour, or does it look like it was just the bag was being used to like suffocate him?
I think that you can pretty much assess the fact that there is, it's a little bit of both, because there's some flour that got into his mouth. Obviously, like it's around the outside of his mouth, but also you can see because his mouth is open a little, you can see like there's a bunch of white in there. Kind of hard to tell if it's like full of flour or if he just got some flour there. But you can definitely tell that regardless, he was suffocated. And then I would say, Pearl, since you were helping, why don't you do a reason check for me real quick?
Okay. I think I did a
because that
2?
It's a +2 for that, yeah.
Yep, 2. All right, no whimies.
Nice. That's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah. So when you help move the sack off, it kind of tilted Paul Riviera's body in the direction of Eugenia and Gertrude, but you can see behind his back, and you actually see that his hands are tied behind his back with these beautifully plated PLAITED nylon cords that have wrapped up his hands. So these nylon cords are wrapped around his wrists, and his hands are conveniently tied behind his back.
Well, this is, and I'm going to point that out to everybody and like, hey, take a look at this here. The mystery deepens.
And as you say that, you hear in the distance some sirens, and then up comes that one law officer you've all come to know and loathe or love, depending on your persona, and that's good old Sheriff Dalrymple. Oh, brother. Hey, ladies. What are we looking at here? And then he like nods. He looks at you, Naoma, and he tilts his hat and he's like, Naoma, it's always great to see you.
Always a pleasure to see you.
And gives a really terrible wink. Like he's like it's just really embarrassing. And then he just kind of like goes back, looks over at you, Pearl. What you doing down there, Pearl? What's you need a hand getting back up there?
I think I can manage. Do the whole.
What do we got? Oh, this looks like Mr. Riviera ain't gonna be judging no bacon no more, huh?
Well, it appears not, and I'm gonna point down over at the bindings. Doesn't look like this was a simple accident either.
Oh. Yeah, this one's gonna be a stumper. And he takes his hat off and starts to like scratch his head. You've come to realize that the sheriff is not the sharpest tool in the shed. And he says, so you guys are gonna stick around through the, and he's like, and then he looks back around, he's like, and he leans in and he's like, sorry. So you guys you're gonna stick around through the rest of this show, right? And then try to figure out who did this, because we gotta keep making like things are normal, and then you guys can do what you do, right? And take care of this thing, solve it.
Well, I mean, I guarantee you, it's probably Scott.
Gertie, it still hasn't been Scott yet, Gertie.
It will. I just have to prove it.
I mean, by all means, prove it, but it hasn't been Scott yet. This is what, number 8?
9.
I hope to God it isn't actually Scott. And if we do continue to play this, or when we do continue, that it could just be a constant Scott is in the background.
It's like, or like if it is, it's finally Scott, like it's this whole big moment. So the sheriff just shakes his head. It's like, Astrid, you got your you didn't bring your smart dog with you this time, huh? So
no, she's in the car. I can go get her. We've been working on tracking. She'd probably be able to sniff this bugger out in about 5 minutes. You want me to go grab her?
Well, that's what I said. She's been on the last few mysteries. I don't see why you wouldn't have her this time.
Yeah, I'll go grab her. And she'll spin on her heels and just start power walking back to the parking lot to go get Gigi.
I love that. So some production team members like scattered around and kind of like sort of like kind of a little bit upset, freaked out. And then somebody like all of a sudden you see from the background, you see Heath, the producer, come walking through, and he's like, and he walks and he's kind of like walks sort of like stiffly, and he looks up, looks down, looks down at Paul. He's like, oh man. Now we're short a judge. This isn't, we got to keep going. We got to keep filming. I mean, we can't just go with, Jane's great, but we can't just go with Jane by herself. We need to, you there. Wait, you look familiar. Wait. And he points at you, Pearl.
Hmm.
You look, didn't you, wait a minute. Did you this might be a long shot, but did you used to have like a deli in PA?
Jersey, but close enough. If you ever call it PA again,
Oh, Jersey.
I'll be
Jersey.
fighting words.
Jersey. Well, yeah. You had you used to do that really that thin sliced capicola, right, on the sandwiches, like the super thin. You could see through it, but it made it so much better because you could put so much more on there.
That's what a Hobart's for. Yeah.
Yeah, that was you. Yeah. Will you be the other judge?
You do know there's like a huge difference between cold cuts and pies, right?
I mean, food is food. It'll be fine. How does a stipend sound for your troubles?
I will always take a stipend.
That's great. Yeah, let's we'll have our people take care of that here a little bit, and we'll get you to sign some papers and get you paid, get you all set, all taken care of. This will be great. I appreciate that because we got to keep moving. And then he walks away. He's like, all right, we'll spin it around. So this one over. Oh, what's your name? What's your name there, deli lady?
Pearl.
Okay, yeah, Pearl. Yeah, all right, everybody. Let's get makeup on Pearl. Let's get things moving, and we'll get our judges in place, okay? And we'll get started here in just a couple minutes. And so a couple people come up to you, Pearl, and they sort of try to escort you towards the judge's tent to get yourself like kind of fixed up.
While Pearl's getting pulled away, Gertrude would say,
"Isn't it great, Pearl? Now you'll be able to tell everyone how terrible Scott's food is."
Can't remember, what pie were you making again?
I made the chocolate pie.
Okay.
Chocolate pie.
All right. Well, we'll see. That was pretty good.
All right, so
you love my chocolate pie. Every time I make it for you guys.
So at this point, there's some woman comes out with really heavy makeup on, and she comes from just somewhere past the trailers and tents. She's like, oh no, it's me, Paul is dead. Oh no. And she comes out just crying, and she's just she's gets on her knees and she's just weeping, and she puts her head on on his chest, and the camera, you see Buck the cameraman comes up, says, it's okay there, Don. I mean, Mrs. Riviera, it's gonna be okay. And he's awkwardly pats her on the back, open-handed. It looks really very almost robotic and kind of very weird. And just says, I'm so sorry about your husband. He was so kind off camera. Off camera. And she says, oh, I know, Buck. You sweet man. I know. I just can't believe someone would kill him. Mind you, he was always driving me a little crazy. You would think I would have been the one to do this, but I love him. I would never do this to him. She's like, I need a drink. And she just stands back up and kind of walks away. And I would say that let's say reason, I would like if I could get a reason check from because Astrid's probably just coming back with your dog. So I'd like to get a reason check from Eugenia, Naoma, and Gertrude, please. Naoma doesn't see anything. Naoma's cool. Oh, Gertrude doesn't see anything.
Blinded by rage right now.
Yeah, for sure. You're just like frickin' Scott.
It's Scott, I swear.
Naoma won't stop talking about lemon. Where did lemon come from?
That's just salty.
Eugenia's got to pull through.
Yeah, what's Eugenia? What's your check?
It was 6.
Okay. You don't notice anything either. Which is fine. It's fine. So Buck, he walks off back towards the camera, and it's at this point that Pearl, you're getting made up. You're getting squared away in the tents, and two of the makeup people are like kind of like they're muttering to each other in the background. Everybody else, like the judges' tent is far enough away where the rest of the mavens can't really kind of hear what's going on. So this is a solo Pearl moment briefly with these two, the two team members that do all the makeup, and one of them is putting some touch ups on some like some blush and stuff, and they're talking to each other, and the one says, I think Buck did it. I think Buck did it because he's been giving it to her wife for God since like last season. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know, right? Like I saw them come out of the trailer just literally like earlier today. So like they're still going at it. This is crazy. It had to have been Buck. He's so strong. He could take him out. He could take that. He could flick that bag of flour with just his pinky finger. So you're hearing Pearl, you're hearing this opinion back and forth of the two of them. So let's see here. So the whole gist here is that as we progress, because we're gonna put a pause point here in a second and a pin in it to come back for next session. But I want to state out of game here for a moment that this mystery now has essentially begun because you are all you have found Paul Riviera murdered, and now you have to figure out who did it. So that is the mystery that will be taking place. So there's already been a few like opportunities for clues that have been dropped, but it's important to understand one thing, which I think is what makes this game so cool about what the solve to the murder mystery is that the Mavens, all of you, are going to tell me what the solve is. I don't know what the solve is. You all are going to use your meddling move and use your other moves and other abilities to find out the clues that will help you surmise how Paul was murdered. Okay? You'll be able to use your Gold Crown Mysteries move that will automatically enable you to take a 12 plus to a single relevant roll or state a fact about the current situation that the I as the keeper must incorporate. So once per mystery per group. So only one person can use a Gold Crown Mysteries move in the Mavens once per mystery. So these are the kind of things you'll want to do to start to find your clues when opportunities present themselves to look for clues or pay attention to the things happening around you as we go into what will be the latter section of the baking show of the baking competition. So I just wanted to state that now because that's going to be the headspace for next session. Really, will be this. It'll be investigation and coming up with your clues to then come up with your solve to the mystery. So we're going to go back to the set. So Pearl, you're sitting next to Jane. Jane leans in, says, "Oh, I am Jane Leaf. It's a pleasure to meet you." And she sticks her hand out.
I'm gonna, do the little handshake thing, and Pearl Taylor.
Nice. This must be a fun opportunity for you. I would imagine. Yeah.
Oh, it was thrust on me, not something I really set out to have in mind when I started this.
Oh, don't worry. You and I will have a great fun time. It'll be grand. You'll enjoy it. You already seem much more refreshing than that old hag Paul. He was just such a stick in the mud all the time. It's unfortunate. And then she just talks your ear off for a second about how much she hated Paul. And like, we were both negotiating. It was time to renegotiate our contracts. And Paul, of course, was asking for 3 times what I make. So of course that doesn't sit well with me. So we've had some words. We've definitely had some words, but I still can't believe that he would be found dead in such a manner. I mean, I just expected he would die in some bizarre, weird sex act because Paul was a weirdo for sure. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. So the tabloids would say. But I mean, ultimately, this is very strange. But yeah, I mean, part of me thinks he deserved it just a little bit.
Well, bless. Can't say I knew the man at all, really.
Are you a fan of the show?
I catch an episode here and there. I'm more into cooking than baking, but
well, tell me one of your favorite dishes you like to make.
Oh, if I'm looking for something just cozy, quick, and comforting, it's got to be just a classic Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on a Kaiser roll.
Oh, I think I've had that, but twice.
Yeah, it's hard to get get Taylor ham outside the tri-state area, but when you can, it's definitely worth the pickup.
Yes, that sounds. Can we get that around here? Perhaps you think?
I've had to order it in special from distributors to get it delivered up here, but you can. It arrives fresh.
As in a right now kind of thing, or a day or two kind of thing.
It'd be a day or two shipping.
Well, maybe on next break you can provide me with some information. I would love to be able to order that and or at least know where I could go get it on my way back home from on break in between seasons here. And looks like we have to find a new judge because I'm sure you probably wouldn't want to come back now, would you?
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's not something I thought I'd find myself doing.
Fish out of water. So we're gonna cut back to Sue, good old Sue and Timothy, and they're like, all right, well, we're gonna start rolling. And then she leans over to you, Astrid, and says, my dear, your dog is very, very cute. Please do be sure to make sure it doesn't cause any problems, okay?
Astrid will look over at Gigi and say, not allowed to cause any problems today. I'm sorry. You got to be on your best behavior. And Gigi, as my companion, completely understands what I say. So I imagine that she just kind of sits and then lays down next to the chair.
Sue goes, oh, wonderful. And she does a little clap. Then she turns back. Says, okay, y'all. All right. And we're coming back. And Buck's like 5, 4, 3, 2. And then the music cuts back in. says, "All right, everybody, welcome back. It appears we have a special guest judge for the finals today. It would seem as though Mr. Riviera fell ill. So we're just gonna jump right back in our final round. And our final round is what? Timmy?" And he looks at the camera and he turns his head and a big smile on his face. He's like, "Why, it's cakes." And that's where we're going to stop. So in the next session, what I would like you all to do, between those of you that are competing, you will each need to find a picture of a cake on the internet that you would have baked for this competition. That'll be something you'll need to bring to the next session. Okay? So you got a week-ish to find that. Find out what kind of cake you want to make. Whatever you want. And we'll put a good story behind it. Okay? And do make sure that you are keeping track of what you feel might be viable clues. There will also be times where I will tell you specific clues that you find when you go into your meddling moves. Because that's the kind of stuff you'll be looking to do in the next session. So treat this very much like multiple long investigation checks, if you will, to figure this out. Sound good?
Word. Can I get a quick jot down sometime during the week of the things I overheard?
Oh, man. Yeah, I will do my best.
I have a horrible goldfish memory.
I've got an entire list of clues that I will share on our Discord.
Throw them in the chat.
Perfect.
I love a great.
I will space cadet in an hour. It'll just be like, wait, what was I talking about?
I mean, same here, and I'm a bad note taker, and I'm the one running this thing. So yeah, my apologies. But yes, Christian, good looking out on note taking. That's going to be very helpful. So, before we close, any feedback? Yay, nay, enjoying it, could be better. What are you missing?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Great. It's definitely a different kind of vibe, I think. For a game, heavy on the role play. But I think this is where a lot of the dice rolls and stuff will start to come into play. Because ultimately you guys gotta find some clues and try to figure out who done it. So do feel free to have any, like, if next session also, you at any time, if you want to, you can talk amongst yourselves out of game if you want to kind of plot plan, figure out like what you want to look at or surmise, or if you are messaging, if you want to message each other in a group chat, whatever you want to do. However you want to conspire to figure this out, go for it. This is very open to interpretation and creativity, so have fun with it. Okay?
So I do have a question about theorize.
Yeah.
So if we do theorize something, we all come to the consensus. Does that mean, like, in our minds, like that's the solution? Or is it just this amorphous theory that we're...
You gather... So... you need to gather a number of clues equal to at least half the mystery's complexity. This mystery's complexity is 7. You will round up, so half would be 4. So you need to have 4 clues, and then you need to reach a consensus, like all in agreement of what the theory is, and then you would roll plus the number of clues that have been incorporated into the theory. So say if you have 5 clues and you incorporate 4 of the 5, then you get a +4 to your roll. And then it on a 12 plus, a person involved in the dark conspiracy of Brindlewood Bay also reveals themselves to you. A 10 plus, it's a correct solution. 7 to 9, it's a correct solution. But I will add an unwelcome complication or a complicated or dangerous opportunity. A 6 or like a 6 minus, the solution is incorrect, and I will react to the incorrect solution.
So technically, Christian, you can theorize Scott at some point.
I will never theorize Scott because I think that it is the funniest thing that he just happens to be there for every single murder, but it's never him. That's why there are clues that could point to Scott, but I did not put them in the chat.
Yeah. Nice. Love that. That's great.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and if you have any questions about like any of the moves or anything that you might have prior to the next session or whatever, just we can talk about it in chat if you have want any further details. But I think that covers everything for this evening. Thanks very much for playing, Mavens. And good luck with solving the mystery next week. I'm pretty sure you can do it. So
Yeah.
I lost sound.
Oh no. No, we could definitely do it.
I think so. I believe in you.
For a minute there for me.
So yeah, so Eric, I was just closing out saying we're all good. If you have any questions about moves or anything, feel free to throw it in the chat. We can talk about it prior to the next session. But thanks for playing. Hope y'all had fun. And it's just going to get weirder next week. So
I like weird.
thanks.
This is awesome.
Thanks for playing, guys.
Thanks
See you
for
next
running.
week. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Absolutely, of course. Talk to you soon.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
We sure hope that you enjoyed Session 0 and the beginning of the one-shot of Brindlewood Bay, the Great Brindlewood Bay Bake-Off. More to come next session. Sure hope to see you there. Should be a great time. Thanks for listening.